Let's talk 147. You ended up at you ended your career at 147. What's going on at 147? Is Spence the top dog and everyone is going around their way to get Spence, or is it some may say the business of boxing?
Well, he's on his way to being the top dog. You know, as soon as he beats everybody, then he's the top dog. But I mean, his skills are incredible. His boxing skills are, man.
Upstairs.
His fundamentals are on point. You know, I think there's a lot of guys that are trying to step around him. So we'll see what happens, man.
Okay, good cop, bad cop. He said why Spence is the top dog right now. You said it yourself, but with fighters like Ocampo and Spence, is he that fighter where you can assess him off those fights and be like, he's going to be the top dog, and he does get there eventually, fights like Danny Garcia, Porter, or Thurman, that he's going to be ready for those kind of fighters with fighters fighting right now at this moment?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the way Thurman was. You know, nobody wanted to fight Thurman. He had to get in that position where the fights were forced. And, you know, that's what's happening with Spence. And time will tell, man. Sure enough, he's going to get those fights. I mean, you know, him and Porter were talking. The thing is, you know, without him, and, you know, everything goes, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's safe. You got to fight whoever. So...
Is that a fight that you think can happen next? And if so, how do you see it playing out based off what Porter did in his fight with Danny Garcia?
I think it'll be a great fight. You know, especially, I mean, Porter boxed pretty good. You know, it's a little different style for Porter, watching him box, you know, moving around. But, you know, he can put some pressure and he can fire away. So, you know, it'll be a whole different look for Earl Spence.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that comes in, throws a lot of punches, who's really body strong and, you know, got some punching power. So, like I said, time will tell, man. Styles make fights. Style makes fights. And we'll see.
How does that fight end?
Porter Spence? I think it's a toss-up. It's like we said, like you guys were saying, you know, when he gets in there with guys like that, we're going to see.
Now, the WBC is talking about some father-son stipulations. I don't know if you've heard about it, but what's your take on the potential of the WBC mandating that a father can't bring his son into the ring?
I don't know, man.
You always had your dad in your corner. Like if you were fighting and you had that rule, how would you feel about it? Like, do you agree with it at all?
I would have somebody else bring me in and just have him in the corner.
No, didn't they say something like you can't bring him in at all?
Yeah,
no, like because they said that he protects you so long that he wouldn't throw in the towel or something like that.
Yeah, it kind of is detrimental to your health. Like you could let the fight go longer just based off wanting to see you win or whatnot or whatever. Like
it's a fight sport, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I think it's kind of BS. Yeah. But hey, whatever. You know, it's their association. They're gonna do what they want.
Yeah. If the WBC mandates Charlo versus Canelo next, how do you see that fight playing out? Canelo starts fighting.
I think that's a good fight right there, man. Charlo can punch and he can box, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, he's a good boxer on the outside too, and he sets everything up with power. I think it'll be a great fight for Canelo. You know, he showed a lot of freaking balls this last fight. You know, standing there. Actually, he had Triple G, you know, moving around and boxing and, you know, on the back pedal.
Yeah.
You know, surprised a lot of people.
You fought on HBO before, of course, HBO bowed out. How do you feel about that, man?
Kind of sucks, but the great thing is, you know, you got free TV, man. Yeah. Shoot. You got all these PBC fights. That's what's up right there. You know, a lot of people right now are, you know, having trouble, you know, with everything, you know, their homes, cable, everything. So, you know, you can't afford to buy HBO, so you get it free.
Do you think that's the Al Heyman effect, collateral damage, HBO bowing out the boxing?
I mean, he actually made it better for fighters because now
talk about that.
A lot of fighters are starting to become household names because they're on network TV, prime time. You're able to see them, and that's, you know, back in the 80s, the 70s. That's why. The 60s, that's why fighters were so big, because they were on network TV. You didn't have to pay to watch them on TV. As it is, you got to come to a fight and pay. Now you have to pay to watch them on TV. I mean, it's a great thing for boxing. It's great for all the fighters because you get your name out there.
If there were jockeying for position, HBO and Showtime, obviously with HBO bowing out, it makes Showtime the premier network right now in boxing. Would it be smart for Canelo to go with Showtime? Because there's also ESPN DAZN. Where do you think he should go, like in your opinion?
I don't even know, man. I think he should go to Showtime or shit, just do pay-per-views, man. You can sell it, right?
The weight, moving up in weight, you started at 26?
22.
Oh, damn. Are you serious?
Yeah, I started at 22.
Salido was at,
Wait, hold up. Hold the fuck up.
People don't know that. 22.
Salido was at 26 or 22?
26.
26, yeah.
Yeah. So I moved up to 26, won the title, and then I fought Salido.
Okay.
What's the growing pains going from 22 to 40? You stopped at 47, right?
Yeah.
What? Explain that to the novice fan, to a person like me. Like, how do you carry the power up? Is it an astronomical difference in power? Can you break that down for the fight fans?
Yeah, you know, the power punching changes. Yeah, I mean, the power punching changes, the speed changes, you know, the body strength, everything changes. You know, you're actually fighting bigger guys that are coming down to 47 or coming down to 35 or 40. So, you know, you're actually the smaller guy fighting big guys. And, you know, starting my career at 122 pounds.
I didn't know that.
You know, worked my way up all the way to 47. I was always eating. I mean, you guys seen the fight with how big or how small I looked compared to Keith Thurman in the ring.
Opened up PBC for that matter.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see the difference. And you know, just fighting guys that are full-fledged 147 pounders, where they came from 40 to 47, or you know, or they came down from 54 to 47. You're fighting bigger dudes, so. You know, I was always on the rise. My problem was I was a lefty, nobody wanted to fight, so I was chasing guys like Marquez, Guerrero, Morales. You know, every time they moved up in weight, I moved up in weight because there was nothing left for me at featherweight or 130 pounds, 135. So, you know, having trouble getting the fights, I would make the move. The bigger guy would always want to fight the little guy, right? So that's what I did.
Now, you moved up.
That's why I'm not all big like you thought I would be.
Yeah.
I was just a natural little guy.
Yeah,
you guys thought I was gonna blow up all big. Nah.
You have to eat because
I'm actually eating my way into 47 the right way.
Now I gotta ask, you actually moved up to fight Floyd Mayweather, and he's potentially making a comeback. Can you assess Floyd when you fought him, and assess him moving forward against a Manny Pacquiao today?
Man, it was just being in the ring with him was unreal. Just how his hand speed, his reaction time. You know, it was like he was like 2 or 3 steps ahead every time I blinked my eye. So, you know, and it is true, like he says, everybody has a game plan, but as soon as they get in with him, it goes out the door. It's because of that hand speed, that foot speed, the reaction time. You know, it just, everything just goes out. You pretty much fall into like, man, I just got to land something on this guy. Just got to land something. And most of the time when you're trying to land something, it never lands. So, you know Floyd. Everybody knows Floyd. Even though he's retired, he's still in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, he takes care of himself. And I think him, by taking a little bit of time off, actually helps him, or he's going to come back fresh.
Is he TB?
What?
Is he TB?
the best ever.
In our era, yeah. In our era, I mean,
That's humble enough for you to say that.
in our era, he is. You know, but there's so many fighters out there, you know, throughout the years. So, you know, there's guys that are like 115. So, you know.
Speak about his influence of just this generation in general, man. Like Canelo tries to fight like him a little bit. You got Devin Haney, who's probably the closest thing to him, a young version of Mayweather. Speak about his influence over this generation, man. People try to mimic his pad work. Like, it doesn't quite work out for every fighter, but just his influence, man. He pretty much influenced the whole generation that we're
I think it's a bad influence, man. There's only one Floyd Mayweather, dude. There's only one Tom Brady. Shit.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These guys, you can mimic something, but the difference between Floyd and everybody else is that speed, that reaction, that foot speed, and you know, it's just a skill that he has. It's just above everybody else's.
Yeah.
And not to have that type of speed, footwork, you know, the reaction time, you usually put yourself in danger to get nailed. So, you know, but it is what it is. You know, everybody wants to, you know, they want to fight like.
What do you think intrigues them to want to fight like that? What is it that they see? Is it just the undefeated record, the way he was able to dominate most of his opponents, or what?
Undefeated record,
Money.
he hardly gets hit, money, the flash.
Yeah.
You know, there's a variety of things, but you know, I think the best thing is fundamentals. Fundamentals. You look at Mikey Garcia, everything's fundamentals. He's just wrecking through weight classes, and it's all fundamentals. Really relaxed, behind a jab. His distance is great, footwork, balance. He's dominating. I mean, he could get in with guys that are so quick, flashy, and everything, but he still dominates him.
Yeah.
Now, my last interview I had with your father.
Look at him and Broner. I mean, he just destroyed Broner.
Yeah, and Broner has,
Broner has that stuff. Yeah,
physical
fundamentals.
attributes, yeah. My last interview I did with your father, he says, I asked him about Floyd Mayweather. He says, I love Floyd. What he did for the Guerrero family is amazing. Can you talk about that? Like, he was talking about financially, and he talked about game or something like that. Like, he spoke to y'all or something like that. Do you know
yeah, you know, anybody that fights Floyd, you know, they're gonna get set up. They're gonna get set up no matter what, dude. You know, and just having the opportunity to be in the ring with, you know, the best fighter ever in our, well, not ever, but best fighter in our generation. So, you know, it put me in the history books, dude, right there when, you know, one of Floyd's last fights before he retired. Now, well, he's coming back, but his second retirement.
right. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. How do you like that?
I think that's going to be an interesting fight. You know, because Deontay Wilder, he throws bombs from weird angles. So does Tyson Fury. You know, he's really active, on his toes, moves a lot. You know, he uses the ring. He's one of those guys that kind of frustrates everybody, and whoever fights him, you know, they just don't look good. So it could be one of those fights where Deontay Wilder doesn't look good but wins the fight, and Fury makes it look like, you know, oh man, like garbage, but I think Deontay Wilder wins.
Knockout decision?
I think knockout, man. I think eventually he's going to catch him and put him out.
Would that give him leverage? A win like in that fashion over Fury, that give him leverage more so over Joshua? Would it make him like the A-side, so to speak?
I think so. I think so, because you got Joshua calling those guys out now, like, hey, I want to fight either one, you know, so bring them. You know, so see what happens, man.
How good is Keith Thurman? Because you fought Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. Who would you give the edge to, and why? How good are both of them?
I give the edge to Keith Thurman because he does fight the fights intelligent. You know, he comes out, wins first half of the fight. After that, you know, he likes to win the first 7 rounds, and then he floats, and then whatever rounds he can win towards the end, you know, he makes it happen. So, you know, Danny Garcia more wants to counter shot, pop shot, you know, 3, 4 good solid shots and try to win the round. You know, Keith Thurman, he boxes really good. You know, when he's on his toes, he moves around, lands big shots, and, you know, he doesn't get hit a lot.
Rank 140, my last question. Rank 147.
Number 1, Robert. No.
Rank him from 5 down to 1 if you can.
All time.
Shoot, I don't know, man.
You got Terrence Crawford, you got Sean Porter.
I mean, I know for sure top 5. Top 5. You got Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. Man, it's stacked, man. It's stacked. It's whoever's going to take over. That's what I think. And I think the 2 guys that are going to do it is Crawford and Spence.
Crawford and Spence. Who wins that, by the way?
That's a hard fight, man.
For me, that's a hard one for me.
That's a toss-up, man. That's a toss-up. You know.
Who do you like stylistically going into that fight? Like, obviously, I think Crawford will box, and then I mean, can switch because they both have the stability.
I kind of like Spence because he has the height and the reach, and he's also a lefty, and his fundamentals are great. You know, he boxes behind a good jab. He throws crazy body shots. You know, and that's one of the things is a lot of young fighters, they don't throw body shots anymore. So, you know, that's what he does.
Robert, what do you think of Victor Ortiz and the situation he's going through?
I don't know, man. I just hope the allegations ain't true. You know, sad situation. You know, I know he just had a young child, and man, I just don't know. I was speechless when I heard it. Man,
what do you think? Like, you know, if you're going through fight week, they almost let him fight or whatnot. Like, what do you think he goes through right now?
Shit, I don't know, man. Probably. I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
This is probably depressing to him to think about it, or if he did do it, he's probably like, damn, I effed up, man. Shit. I don't know, man. So it's one of those things, man. I mean, it's going around everywhere. People are getting accused for, you know, false shit. But you never know, man. You never know what these guys think. In front of the cameras, really nice, have, you know, speak real well, but behind scenes, you don't know what goes on.
Now John Molina, he's also suffering too. What do you think he's going through?
I feel bad for John, you know. All the training, prepared, you know, close to home, everything going, and fight week you find out this guy's facing some rape charges.
Has this ever happened to you? Someone pulled out the main event on you?
No.
No.
I pulled out before. The main event.
That was a big fight too, right?
That was Maidana.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
10 days out to the fight, but
What was it, a rib injury or what?
no, I tore my whole
Yeah,
rotator.
there you go, yeah.
I was actually after that. I had to go get surgery, and I was out for almost 2 years. And then that's when I came up to 47. 2-year layoff. People thought I was nuts.
I remember that. I remember that.
47. They're like, this guy's crazy. But
The money's great.
money's great.
The money's great.
Thank you, Floyd.
My last question, like
Thank you, Al Haymon.
since you're retired, what's more important now, the belts or the money?
It's a bit of both. You know, you want to set yourself up, set your family up, take care of business that way. But if you take care of business, you win those belts and you keep kicking that butt, the money will be there. So, you know, but I mean, winning championships and titles, they can never take that from you. They can take your money. They can't take those, you know. That's something that goes down in history forever, and, you know, you appreciate it. So,
You're going to the Hall of Fame soon. Who's introducing you to the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I actually went to the Hall of Fame this year to go check it out, and it was fun.
Did you go to Nevada or Minnesota?
No, I went to Kansas.
Oh, did you? Oh, no, I haven't been there
That
yet.
was probably one of the greatest times I've had at a boxing event was out there. My favorite thing was seeing Thomas Hearns and Marvin Marcus Hagler yapping at each other. I was like, oh my gosh.
3 rounds of hell.
Yeah, so
There's a lot of young fighters. Who's caught your eye? There's Devin. Oh yeah.
Gotta keep this a little bit.
Step to the side. There's Devin Haney, there's Shakur Stevenson, there's Michael Collin, there's Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. There's a lot of young fighters there. Who has caught your attention and you're like, that's the next guy, or that's potentially the next guy?
Spencer fighting tonight.
Joey Spence, yeah.
Joey Spencer, I mean, that kid's a powerhouse. Yeah. Just watching him in the ring, I mean, you really don't get to watch too much of him because he takes these guys out. But just how relaxed he is, how he moves, you know, his focus. I mean, he's on his way. He's on his way. I mean, there's a lot of young fighters, so see what happens.
Any advice for them?
Little B-Hop's tearing it up too, man.
Oh, yeah, he's a hell of a boxer.
Yeah.
He's left-handed, right? Is he left-handed?
No, he's right. He's right-handed.
Okay.
But I mean,
I just
it's
found
fight,
that.
man. It's
New York,
slick.
too.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of fighters coming up, and the great thing is you got PBC to watch it. Everybody can watch that.